Every kid has a moving out phase. On this day, this kid's mom was yelling at him, telling him to clean his room, eat his broccoli, normal stuff. But he got fed up. Fine, if my room is so messy, I'm moving out. And he expected his mom to cry and be like, no, don't move out, I'm so sorry. The mom just said, okay, the suitcase is in the attic. Suddenly, she called his bluff. Okay, I'm gonna go get it. He knows she called his bluff, but he wants to see how far he can take it, so he starts packing. Then suddenly, the mom is helping him pack. Oh, don't forget your toothbrush, honey. I'll even drive you to the end of the street if you want. I'll pack you a sandwich too, so you don't starve tonight. No, it's fine, I'll walk. Now 5 minutes later, this kid's standing at the edge of the driveway with his suitcase full of random stuff his mom helped him pack. His mom locks the front door, closes the garage. Kid begins to walk away, hoping that they're watching him, hoping they'll beg for him to come back. But they don't, so he turns around, knocks on the door. Oh, hi, sweetie, did you forget something? I don't want to move out, Mom. I'll clean my room. The room gets cleaned in record time. Has this ever happened to any of you guys? Shut it down. We can't. There's a wait list. At this one high school, there was this one kid that never talked, like ever. Nobody even really knew his name. But one Monday, he walked into the cafeteria with a massive backpack. Everyone was very curious, like, what the heck is in there, man? He sat down and he pulled out a full-size blender, a jug of orange juice, and some frozen fruit. He plugged it into an outlet and... everyone was staring. This kid's making a frickin' smoothie? And lunch? He poured that smoothie into a cup and handed it to the kid next to him. For me? Okay. Yo, that's good. Just handed the kid a smoothie without saying anything. The next day he did the same thing. Brought the blender in, made smoothies, but this time he handed 3 cups out to people. And again, every student loved them. Day after that, 5 cups. It's like he was testing the clientele to see what they liked. Well, by Friday, he had a handwritten sign that he put in front of this lunch table. Smoothies, $2. Mango, pineapple, or strawberry banana. And the wild part was he was good. Frozen fruit was packed in dry ice. The straws were pre-torn so we could just pop them in there. And he had a punch card system. Buy 5, get 1 free. At first, the teachers didn't really notice. He was blending during the loud parts of lunch. He even had a kid from drama club doing the marketing. Attention everybody, everybody. There are smoothies at table 20. Go get yours now. This all started crumbling down when kids stopped waiting in line for lunch and they began waiting in line for these dang smoothies. What in the world is going on over there? Some kid's got a blender and he's making smoothies and people are paying for him, man. I don't know. Well, shut it down. I can't, man. There's a wait list. Mrs. Johnson's in line. I'm so excited for my smoothie. Principal didn't care. He came over and took the blender, unplugged it. He was shut down. But was he? That kid missed school the next day. But then he came back with a battery-powered blender. He didn't need to plug it in anymore. During lunch that day, the principal and the school police liaison came and got him. They brought him to the office and everybody thought he was done for. But then the next day, he came back with a new and improved sign. Smoothies, $2. Mango, pineapple, or a strawberry banana. Now approved by school. Turns out him and the principal made a deal. Okay, fine, you can sell them at lunch, but you have to also sell them at every single school event this year and we take a 5% cut. The money you make during lunch, that's yours though. Deal? By the end of the year, that kid earned enough money to buy a used car. He was the silent smoothie slinger. You gotta respect the hustle. Here's what happens when you sell snacks to a rich kid. This guy's running a locker snack business to save up for a computer. Well, one kid ordered a bag of hot Cheetos and a Gatorade. Easy transaction. So he brings it to this kid's locker, and the kid looks at the Cheetos all weird. Yo, man, this bag is way too wrinkled. Okay, I'll go grab a fresh one for you. So he runs back to his locker and grabs a fresh bag. He comes back, and now this kid's saying the Gatorade's wrong. Also, dude, this is the wrong flavored Gatorade. You said blue Gatorade. I did not say blue Gatorade. He said blue Gatorade. Well, while he's standing there, you know what, it's fine, I'll take it. Okay. Well, the kid's standing there waiting to get paid when the rich guy starts showing his friends pictures of the yacht his parents just bought. Hey, Kevin, Deacon, check this out, man. That's a big boat. It's my parents. Hey, can I get the money? Jeez. Impatient, are we? Fine, here. He takes the money, he goes. The next day, the rich kid stops him in the hallway. Hey, yo, dude, those Cheetos were stale yesterday. I want a full refund. The Cheetos weren't stale, they were brand new. But He didn't know what to say, so he just refunded the guy. He says it doesn't matter. He's sure karma will catch up to this kid one day. She told him to wash the car, and she gave him a bucket and a sponge. You should be all set. All right, I'm on it, Mom. So he goes outside with the bucket and the sponge. He sets the bucket right next to the car. I'm gonna put you right here. Then he goes to the side of the house and grabs the hose. Okay, got the hose. And he begins dragging the hose over to the bucket by the car. All right. But the hose is not long enough. It doesn't reach. Ah, great. So he turns on the water. Fill this bucket up, but how am I gonna do it? Just gonna launch it from here. And he begins spraying the hose and trying to arch it into this water bucket. Come on. But the bucket keeps tipping over. Come on. Not again. He adjusts his stance. He changes the angle of the hose. He's trying to find the best way to fill this bucket. But this kid didn't realize that he could just take the bucket and bring it to the hose and then bring the bucket back to the car. Like, at no point does that enter his brain. His mom's watching him through the window. I raised an idiot. I mean, yeah, kinda. You ever wonder why schools randomly ban like pot Cheetos or Takis? There's always a reason, and at this one school, that reason was, let's call him Marcus, the 7th grade snack kingpin. Shh. Marcus had snacks. He was running an entire operation. A backpack loaded like a frickin' vending machine. Takis, Sour Patch, mini Gatorades, all marked up 200%, and people bought them. Business was absolutely booming. And it wasn't just him in this operation. He had runners. Kids in different grades moving products between different classes. He would even bring backup hoodies to school. He would change them throughout the day, so security cameras would think it's different people doing different things. He made enough money in 3 months to buy 2 pairs of brand new Jordans. Never used Venmo, only cash. But here's how he got caught. One of his runners sold Capri Sun to a diabetic kid and told him it was sugar-free, which is absolutely messed up. The kid's blood sugar spiked, the nurses got involved. The school asked him where he got it from, and this kid spilled. The entire operation crumbled. Marcus was suspended for 1 week. School banned all sorts of snacks. After that, it was like this business operation never existed. But if you went to the boys' bathroom, in stall number 3, written in small letters on the door, was the snack prices. You gotta respect the hustle. Warfare at the winter dance. At this one school, there was this kid named Evan. Yo, quiet, organized, he got straight A's. And this year, he finally had this big job. He was gonna plan the entire winter dance. And this guy had ideas. Lighting cues, playlist drafts, themed decorations. He had a binder filled with these ideas. He presents his ideas to the student government. So, what do you think? And this one girl named Kelsey grabs the binder, flips through it, and goes, yeah, no, this is ugly. Then she throws it straight into the trash can. You're done, I'll be taking it from here. And she does, she takes over everything. And Evan gets pushed to the side like an unpaid intern. He's very upset. The only thing Evan was allowed to do was run the technical side of things that night. And that included the fog machines. Fog machines that basically run on a water-based formula. Fog machines sit on the table, unguarded. So Evan shows up to the dance. Second it starts, he goes by the fog machines. He opens all of the tanks and he dumps a full bottle of pure peppermint extract into each of the fog machine tanks. The second the lights go down, he turns every fog machine to max. Dancing starts, the DJ's playing the tunes, the fog was beginning to thicken, and before you know it, the gym turns into a pure peppermint hurricane. My eyes! Kids coughing, eyes burning, teachers screaming, the principal's like, chemical leak! Everyone get out! The fire alarm gets pulled, the dance evacuates, and now half the school is standing outside in the freezing cold. Who did this? This was my dance. Evan, crazy enough, didn't try to hide it. Yeah, but it was my dance first. Evan wasn't suspended, he was expelled. When the janitors cleaned the gym the next day, the peppermint was still so strong, they all had to wear goggles. And the smell lingered in that gym for literal years. That is insane. Behind the stage in the auditorium, there was this old supply closet. Small, dark, the door was kind of hidden. Nobody ever used it. But this one high school junior, he finds it. He cleans it up and he starts bringing stuff in. He puts cushions on the floor, extra pillows, a lamp from his house, and he had this nice big blanket that had cats on it. At first, it's just for him. He's got a second period independent study, and he starts taking full-on naps in there. But eventually, he tells 2 of his friends. Then a couple seniors hear about it, and people start asking, He turns this cushiony nap room into a rental. $10 gets you that room for an entire period. One person at a time, quiet, clean, no stress. And here's the genius part. He would set up guards. A kid who would sit by in a folding chair pretending to read lines. But really, this person's just there to keep an eye on things, make sure the person doesn't get disturbed in the nap room, and make sure that teachers don't come by looking around. And they rotate guard duty based on who had the period free. It's a whole system, and nobody ever gets caught. It started as this dumb thing. Some kid threw their own backpack into the air to be funny. Well, it got caught on the top of one of the worst trees on campus. Thin branches, really high up, impossible to climb it seemed like. They tried everything. Here, I'll throw my shoe at it. Dang it. I'll throw a trash can at it. Dang it. Nothing was working. That's when one kid suggested this. Guys, we should call Squirrel Boy. No way, dude. Bro, we can't call Squirrel Boy. But there was no other option. So every school has that one kid. Well, this school had Squirrel Boy. He wore fingerless gloves. He said things like, "The ground is only a suggestion." He once perched on top of the basketball hoop during a game. "Get on from there." He scaled the brick wall on the side of the school building just to prove a point. And one time, he sat at the top of the flagpole for the entire lunch period, perched. Everybody would make fun of him, but on that day, they needed him. Somebody texted him. 10 minutes later, jogged around the corner eating trail mix. Didn't ask what happened. He saw the backpack, he saw the tree, and he knew what he had to do. I got this. He literally climbed the entire tree in like 3 seconds, and he threw that backpack down. The second he got down, he just walked away. "Thanks, Squirrel Boy." "Yeah, thanks, Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy's cool now." And from that moment on, nobody made fun of Squirrel Boy ever again. They lost him during a thunderstorm. The backyard gates swung open and their dog was gone. For weeks, they searched. They put up posters everywhere. They called different shelters. Nothing. Then one afternoon, they're driving home. Their daughter sees something. Mom, that's Milo." Same golden fur, same curled tail, except a new collar. They pull over and they walk up to the door. "Milo!" His name's actually Charlie. "He's cute though, huh? Feel free to pet him." "Mom, do something." "Where did you find him?" "Oh, we picked him up from the shelter." "He was soaking wet, it was raining. We took him home." "That's our dog." He was chipped. He wasn't chipped, and that's our dog. The girl kneels down. "Milo, come here. See? He knows his name." "Charlie, come here." But Milo didn't come. He was so happy to see his real owners. "Quick, get Milo in the car. We're leaving now." "Hey, wait." And they took the dog and they sped away. Honestly, I would've done the same thing. That's my freaking dog. That dude was seriously trying to keep him. That's messed up. This is absolutely crazy. So there's this one freshman in high school, and his parents are out of town for the week. Well, instead of playing Xbox every day after school, he does something absolutely insane. He builds an actual wrestling ring in his backyard. I'm talking wood frame, ropes, the whole thing. And at school, he starts telling people, "Every day after school, my house, wrestling matches, $2 to get in." And for the first few days after school, it's just a couple of kids messing around. But then it started getting serious. One kid begins managing fighters and training them. Another's making poster for the big fight on Friday. People are putting money down. They're making actual bets, and these fighters are training all week. Well, by Thursday and Friday, it's not just this backyard thing anymore. Half the school is showing up. There's bets being placed, referees with whistles. It's absolutely insane. Well, finally Friday is the big fight, and it is beautiful. Until this kid's dad comes home and sees what's going on. "What the heck is going on here? Oh my god!" And the whole thing was shut down instantly. But those who went to that school never forgot the week of backyard wrestling. That's kind of crazy. At Logan's house, there was one rule. Don't go near the piano room, ever. His mom said it was off limits for emotional reasons. His dad called it a sacred space. And anytime a guest walked past the room, the family would act weird. "Nothing to see in this room." One time, Logan's friend leaned on the door and the mom freaked out. So I was thinking that we can go to the, Hey! Well, that night during the sleepover, Logan admitted something. "Yo, I've actually never been in the room myself either." "You've never been in that room?" "No." Well, around 2 a.m., Logan's friend who was sleeping over just couldn't handle it anymore, so he got up and he snuck to the piano room. And then he opened the door. And that's when we saw it. Logan's dad was inside wearing a tuxedo, sitting at a grand piano, his fingers hovering above the keys. He wasn't playing, his fingers were just doing this. He then said, "Get out of here and close the door." Okay. He slammed the door shut and went back to sleep. He later found out that Logan's dad had a very weird obsession with grand pianos, and apparently that time of night was his sacred time, so I don't know. Super weird. His parents were at the sleepover. It's Friday night. Sleepover at his buddy Jonah's house. First hour solid. Pizza, soda, Mario Kart, chillin'. But then, hey boys, we have next round, okay? This is gonna be great. It's Jonah's mom and dad. They join him and they play 4 rounds. Now, this is kind of weird, man. Oh, it's fine. Later, they go for a bike ride. Let's go, bro. All right, see you, mom and dad, we're heading out. But then Jonah's mom and dad come out on their own bikes. I'll lead the way. I'll be in the back for safety. What the heck? Biking in formation. Back inside, it's movie time. They're watching The Sandlot. Jonah's mom walks in with a pillow. Ooh, I love this one. Screw over. The dad's laying on the floor. They stay for the entire movie and the dad's crying at the end. Now that's a classic. Now that's a classic. Then it's time for bed. Sleeping bags on the floor, lights off, and then suddenly, zip! Jonah's parents lay out their own sleeping bags and they join them. Good night, boys. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. He doesn't sleep, he just stares at the ceiling listening to Jonah's dad snore, counting down the hours till morning. Worst sleepover ever, and he never went back. You are stealing from the school. I'm charging my phone. Exactly. This kid plugs his phone into the wall outlet during class. It wasn't a distraction, his phone just had low battery, and they were doing a free work period, so what's the big deal? Well, the teacher sees this and loses it. Unplug that now, you are stealing school electricity. It's a phone charger. Unplug it or you're suspended, and we'll bill you for the power you used. He thinks there's no way that the school would go that far, so he doesn't unplug his phone. But the school, oh, they wanted to punish him. They were ready. He gets called to the office the next day. Official suspension. And he got a notice to appear before a disciplinary committee. What? All this for using the wall outlet in class. So he shows up, calm, silent. Well, young man, theft is theft, no matter how small. Cool. Here's 10 cents. Keep the change. Excuse me, you're not done here. Oh, yes I am. Bye. And he walks out. He didn't do that as an actual payment. He did it as a statement, because the electricity he used probably cost the school less than a penny, and he gave them 10 times that, just to show how ridiculous this all was. And just to punish him and make an example out of him, the school district spent hundreds of dollars filling out forms, calling this meeting, filing reports just to punish him. So they're the real losers in this fight. And this kid just walked out, no care in the world. What an absolute legend. Where does he get all his money? Oh, he runs a school storage empire. Nice. So this kid finds an extra locker. No name on it, no combination, just unlocked. And he gets an idea. He cleans it out, puts his own lock on it, and he starts a business. $3 a day for private storage. He spreads the word, people start taking him up on this. The first week he makes $15, just from kids storing some random stuff, like a lunch or a hoodie. But he takes that $15 and he flips it. He starts renting lockers from other students. He found kids that never use theirs, and he gives them money. He rents it out from them. And now he's running his storage business out of their lockers as well. It's simple. He pays a small little fee, he charges people for storage, and he keeps the profit. At his peak, he had 3 different lockers in 3 different hallways. Different clients, different time slots. People would store their phones before gym, put their hoodies in there when they were too hot. There was no drama, no theft. Everybody respected the system. He kept a spiral notebook to track who had what in what locker and when. He even offered weekly deals. $10 for 5 days guaranteed. One kid used that to store a bunch of snacks for himself to have throughout the week. But then, one day, 3 kids are hovering by locker 223. A teacher walks by, sees one of them pull out a whole bag of candy and a phone charger. Whose locker is this? Nobody answers. The admin gets involved. They pop the lock. Inside are 3 phones, a hoodie, a bag of Takis, and a pair of Crocs. They start asking around, and eventually his name got brought up and he was called to the office. Were you charging students to use lockers? No, I was offering a service, but what would you know about that? Locker Empire shut down. But in 2 weeks, he made over $100. No losses, no complaints. The only reason it ended was because it got too popular. And that's a good thing. You gotta respect the hustle. You're gonna regret this. Get out of my class. So this kid sprains his leg during soccer practice. The doctor gives him crutches, a note, clear instructions. But his teacher, she never liked him. She thinks he's dramatic, thinks he's lazy. He walks into class on crutches, and she just stares at him. You don't need those. Stop milking it. He tries to explain, but she just cuts him off. If you want attention, do it on your own time. Give me those. She takes his crutches and locks them into a cabinet. He stares at her, calm, and just says, "You're gonna regret this." And for the rest of the day, he walks all day on his hurt leg. He doesn't ask for help. He's not complaining. He's limping. He winces, but he keeps moving. Well, that night, his leg is on fire. The next morning, he's back at the doctor. It's worse now. He has a hairline fracture because he was walking on it so much because the teacher took his crutches. Oh, it's about to get bad for this teacher. The next morning, he walks into class again with crutches, a medical boot now, and another doctor's note. He doesn't sit. He doesn't yell. Just stands in front of the whole class and says, "So I watched the rest of the day like you told me to?" Well, turns out that refractured my injury. I'll be on crutches another 6 weeks now, so thank you for that. The whole class is silent. She tries to speak, but the door opens and the principal walks in. "Hi, Miss Harding. I need to speak with you. Please bring your things." She freezes. Then she grabs her stuff and heads towards the hallway. And she walks out. She doesn't come back the next day. Or the day after that. She was fired. Karma's a B minus? That's just a B in a tuxedo. Oh, what? So this kid turns in an essay. He gets it back a few days later. A minus. Solid, clean grade. He's feeling good until he gets in the car and shows his mom. Why is it not an A plus? Oh no, it's still an A. An A minus is just a fancy B. You're rewriting it. So that night, he rewrites the entire thing. Adds more quotes, changes the intro, tightens everything up. Next day, he turns it in again. The teacher's confused, but she said she'll take a look at it. 2 days later, the same result. Still an A minus. He shows his mom. "You are doing it again." "You're joking, right?" "Not until you get 100. Fix your tone, fix your grammar, and fix your mindset." He rewrites it again, turns it in. This is the third version. And the teacher pulls him aside. "Hey, why do you keep resubmitting this? Your paper was excellent." "I know, I'm just trying to survive, ma'am." She gives him the exact same grade, A minus again. He turns it into his mom. She just sighs and says, "I give up. You must have done something wrong." And that's the day he learned. Sometimes it's not about the grade. It's about your mom's permanent disappointment. Poor kid. So this small town school incorporated a new rule. No hats ever. Not in class, not in the hallways, not even during lunch. Didn't matter the type. Snapback? No. What? Baseball cap? No. Huh? Bucket hat? Definitely no. Hey! The teachers said that this rule was about respect and uniformity. The principal kept saying stuff like, "This is an institution of learning, not a fashion show, folks." But one day, this kid comes in wearing a helmet. Like a full-on bike helmet strapped under his chin. You know, just sitting in class like it's completely normal. The teacher sees him. "Why are you wearing a helmet in my class? You know the rules, no hats." "Oh, it's not a hat. It's for safety." "Nice try. You need to take it off." "Actually, no, I don't. There's nothing in the handbook that says I can't wear protective headgear." She tries to argue with him, but he just smiles and says, "Look, you can ban hats, but this is personal protection. What if a ceiling tile falls? What if I trip and fall? Miss, I'm just being cautious." He wore it all day. He wore it to lunch. He wore it to gym. They called his parents. His parents said, "Hey, if he wants to wear a helmet, that's his right, okay? Better safe than sorry." So the school had no choice, because helmets are protective gear. They couldn't ban it, and all of a sudden, other students began joining in. By the end of the week, you had tons of kids wearing baseball helmets, lacrosse masks, skating helmets. It was iconic. However, they did eventually put this specific rule in the handbook. Students must not wear hats or helmets in school unless they have a doctor's note. That's kind of awesome. So this dad notices that his daughter, 16 years old, has been acting really different lately. She's turned into a straight up mean girl, mocking people's outfits, judging what people are bringing for lunch, making comments like, "That person's disgusting. She smells like cafeteria food and cheap shampoo." Just some real mean stuff, you know? And it's not just at school either. It's also at home. She has been harassing their housemaid. So I guess these people have money because they have a housemaid, but still, she's been harassing the housemaid. Every time the housemaid walks by, she says something like, "You're disgusting. Do you like smelling like bleach? Oh my God, you're so filthy." Like, what? This maid has been in tears more than once because of the mean stuff this girl says. Like, she's just trying to do her job. She's a sweet lady. Well, one day she told the dad that his daughter called her filthy and all these other horrible things just because she was cleaning under the fridge. So he finally sits down his daughter and he says this, "Hey, listen, if I hear one more thing like that, you're not going to the party this weekend, and I mean it. Because yeah, there's a huge party coming up. It's a big one, everybody's going, and this girl's been talking about it nonstop for weeks." You wouldn't do that to me. Do you want to bet? 2 days before the party, the dad catches his daughter straight up grilling the maid. "No, I told you to clean my room first, okay? You are absolutely disgusting, filthy woman, all right? That's it. You're not going." He caught her, and she snaps, starts screaming, crying, kicking around. This girl's 16 years old and she's acting like a complete child. But he holds the line. No party. Fast forward a few days. She walks into the room her dad's in, all sweet, and she goes, "Hey Dad, I can't find my phone." He helps her look, nothing, can't find it. So he calls the number, and they hear it ringing from the maid's purse. Oh my God, she stole it. I knew it. I knew she was shady, Dad. At this point, the maid is literally shaking. She says she has no idea how it got in there. She starts crying. The dad's trying to stay calm, and inside he's like, there's no freaking way. Well, what his daughter didn't know was that the dad recently installed some indoor cameras in the house, and he checked the cameras, and there she was. He caught his daughter red-handed, putting her phone in the maid's purse on purpose, just to make her look like a thief, just because she couldn't go to a party. He brings her in his office, and he shows her the footage. She goes pale. And this is how he handled it. You try to ruin someone's life over a party. You're grounded, and tonight, you're sleeping in the backyard. No, Dad, no, I'm a germaphobe. There's bugs and dirt out there. Please, no. No, exactly. You're so obsessed with calling people filthy. Maybe it's time you actually find out what that feels like. She begs and begs, but he just stares and says this: if you push it anymore, it'll be 2 nights. And if you think I'm kidding, you got another thing coming, miss. Yeah, I mean, she sucks. Everybody shoes off before the test. But I'm not wearing socks. Well, that's too damn bad. So this teacher had a rule, a very specific rule. Before every test, shoes had to come off. No exceptions. It didn't matter if you didn't have any socks on. It didn't matter if it was cold. She said it helped keep the energy in the room settled and grounded. Her exact words were, "Your mind works better when your feet can breathe." Obviously, at first, people thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She even had a bin by the front door labeled testing shoes. That's where students would put their shoes in when they got in the classroom on test day. And if you did forget to wear socks, she had loaner socks, like actual backup socks that she kept in her drawer. People rarely used them, but they were there. But one day, one kid walks in and he doesn't take his shoes off. He just sits down. He begins the test, and then she stops everything. "Hey, you need to remove your shoes or leave the room." And he's like, "You know what, miss? Is this even in the handbook? Are you even allowed to do this?" She doesn't answer him. She just stares at him, walks over to his desk, and writes a big 0 on it. That's when he gets up, walks to the office, and tells them everything. The next week, a new policy came down. No teacher may require students to remove shoes. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So this school let seniors submit quotes for their yearbook photos. Most people pick stuff like, "Thanks, Mom," or "most likely to be a Riz God." You know, stuff like that. But this one senior, the kid who was always kind of getting in trouble, submitted this quote. He wanted his quote to say, "At least I'm not the principal." Apparently, this kid and the principal had some long-standing beef. Everybody thought it was gonna get flagged, edited out. There was no way it makes it in the yearbook. Except, it did. His quote was in the yearbook. "At least I'm not the principal." The yearbook got delivered. People started flipping through, and then they found it. Page 142, bottom row, there he is. It blew up. People were taking pictures of it and posting on their social media. It was like a monument. A meme in this school. The next day, the principal calls him down to the office. "So you are not walking at graduation." "What? It was just a joke." "Yeah, a joke. At my expense. Actions have consequences, I'm sorry." That sucked. Yes, he was still graduating, but he wasn't allowed to walk at the ceremony. But this is the epic part. Fast forward a few weeks to graduation day. And obviously, this kid doesn't walk. But his friends do. And under their gowns, they're all wearing t-shirts that say, "At least I'm not the principal." And when their name was called and they would get up there, they would unzip and show the t-shirt. Oh my God. Best prank ever. He rarely talks, he doesn't ask questions, he just fixes stuff. Every school's got that one person who just handles everything. At this school, it was the janitor. He was a quiet dude, always wore the same faded button-up. He never ran. Never seemed to be in a rush. He just walked around like he had all the time in the world. But somehow, whenever something went wrong, he was always there. Locker jammed? You'd turn around and he'd be there already, crouching down with some tools. Happens when it rains. You're good to go. Popping it open in 2 seconds. Projector broke during a presentation. Teacher's panicking, and from the back of the room, "Mind if I take a look?" Vending machine eats your dollar. He doesn't even ask. He just walks up, slaps the machine, and boom, there's your chips. Walks away. Like a freaking legend. Like I said, he was quiet and he barely talked, but he always showed up at the exact right moment. One time, a kid twisted their ankle during gym class, and the gym teacher was freaking out. 15 seconds later, here he comes with an ice pack and a rolly office chair. "Have a seat right here. Put this on your ankle. Mr. Stevens, I'm rolling him to the nurse's office. Okay, you guys have a great class. Come on." He wasn't nosy, he didn't snitch on anybody, he just fixed things. And when someone would say thank you, he would just nod and say, "That's what I'm here for." Best janitor ever.
আমাকে কিছু টাকা দিলে আমি মেরে ফেলবো।
কি মরা যাবে?
কি বলো? তার মানে হচ্ছে আমরা যদি বিয়ে করে ফেলে তুমি মরে যাবা? আমি তো বিয়ে করবো না।
সারাদিন আমি যেন ভালো হয়ে চলি।
আচ্ছা বাবা, কি হচ্ছে বলো তো? সারাক্ষণ কি নিয়ে চিন্তা করছো?
শুভ, এই শুভ, এই যে
দলে দলে এত কিছু, হ্যাঁ? তা দুই একটা ইনিংস রেখেছিস নাকি সব শেষ করে দিস?
এখন আমরা যোগ বিয়োগ করব, ঠিক আছে? 7 যোগ 3 কে পারো? হাত তুলো।
তবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে এখন ক্লাস 9 এ পোলাবেনও প্রেম করে।
মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেঞ্চ সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন। মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি। তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে গেছে। তুই রবিল নামে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি কি আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি। দেখেন ভাবি,
ফোন তো ধরে না। আবার কল দে। এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল না। আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর।
আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি শুধু ওরে পাইলে হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা, আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন,
বাইকটা নিচে রাখা আছে।
সকালে উঠিয়া আমি মনে মনে বলি
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম।
প্রত্যেকদিন বাচ্চাদের পড়ান?
সবাইকে কি বলছি, বাসায় গিয়া এই পড়াটা পড়তে হবে, ঠিক আছে? এখন ছুটি, বাসায় যাও। আপনাকে অনেকবার বলছি এরকম রাস্তাঘাটে আমার সাথে কথা বলবেন না, বিরক্ত করবেন না।
কেন?
লোকটাকে
আমি জানতাম তুমি রাজি হবে।
আপনি কে?
আপনার অঞ্চলের খাবার অসাধারণ।